English podcast
for English learners.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real English Conversation, the place where learning English feels easy, fun, and natural. I am Jessica, and I'm really happy to have you here again.
Hey, Jessica, and hello to all our amazing listeners tuning in from every corner of the world. It feels so good to be here again.
Absolutely. And today we are going to talk about something that always makes conversations warm, friendly, and personal. Hobbies.
Yes, hobbies. Talking about hobbies is one of the best ways to connect with someone, whether it is a new friend, a classmate, or even a colleague. And yet most English learners only say very basic sentences like, I like reading, or I like music.
Exactly. Those sentences are not wrong, but they sound a bit too short, almost like you're giving information, not having a conversation. When you use richer, more emotional phrases, you make people feel your enthusiasm.
Right. Let us start with a very simple but powerful phrase. I am really into. This one sounds friendly, casual, and completely natural. For example, I could say, I'm really into hiking these days.
Yes, that sounds perfect. I'm really into shows that you are interested and involved. It's more alive than just I like. And when you add these days at the end, it sounds like something new that you're currently enjoying.
Exactly. You could say, I'm really into hiking these days, or I'm really into cooking these days. It shows that it's a part of your life right now, not just something you used to do years ago.
And when you say it out loud, notice how it feels. It's friendly, it's open, it invites the other person to ask, oh, really? What kind of hiking do you do? Or what kind of food do you cook? That's how real conversations grow naturally.
That is so true. And sometimes you might want to sound even more passionate. For that, there is another beautiful phrase. I have become a big fan of.
Ah, yes. That one feels like you discovered something new and you have fallen in love with it. It works perfectly when you have recently started a hobby and you are enjoying it more than you expected.
Exactly. For example, I could say, I have become a big fan of photography. That sentence tells people that maybe I was not always interested in it, but now it is something that truly excites me.
That is such a good example. It also gives the other person a chance to respond naturally. If I hear you say that, I would probably ask, oh, really? What kind of photos do you take? And suddenly we have a full conversation.
Yes, that is what these phrases do. They invite connection. When I say, I have become a big fan of photography, it sounds open and genuine, not robotic.
You know, another phrase I really like is, I get a lot of enjoyment out of. It sounds calm and heartfelt. You can feel the emotion behind it. For example, I could say, I get a lot of enjoyment out of gardening.
That one is really nice. It makes people understand that the hobby gives you happiness and peace. It's not only something you do, it's something that gives you emotional value.
And if you notice, this phrase often works well when talking about relaxing or creative hobbies, things that help you slow down, like painting, cooking, or writing. If you say, I get a lot of enjoyment out of painting, it feels honest and soothing, like you're sharing a piece of your fart.
Yes, and that kind of sentence always sounds sincere. You're not just talking about an activity, you're expressing how it makes you feel. That is what makes your English sound natural and human.
Speaking of feelings, there's another warm and personal way to describe a hobby. It helps me unwind. It means the hobby helps you relax, especially after a stressful day.
I love that one. Unwind is such a beautiful word. It makes me think of taking a deep breath after work, sitting down and letting all the tension go. You could say, I do yoga because it helps me unwind, or gardening helps me unwind after a long day.
Yes. And what I love about that phrase is how peaceful it sounds. It is not only about doing something fun, it is about taking care of your mental health, too.
Exactly. And while we are talking about time and habits, there's another useful way to describe how long you have been doing your hobby. Many learners say, I do yoga for 2 years, but that is not correct.
Right. The correct form is, I have been doing yoga for 2 years. This is called the present perfect continuous tense. It means you started in the past and you're still doing it now.
Yes, and you can also use since to talk about when you started. For example, I have been doing yoga since 2023. It sounds natural and shows that the hobby is an active part of your life.
Exactly. And this is such a powerful structure to use when describing your hobbies. You can combine it with emotional words. For instance, I have been learning the guitar since last year, and it has become my favorite way to relax.
That is such a lovely sentence. It tells the listener what you do, how long you have been doing it, and why you love it, all in one smooth line.
Yes, and that is the secret. Do not stop after one short sentence. Always try to expand your answer. Imagine someone asks you, what do you do in your free time? You can say, I have become a big fan of cooking lately. I have been trying new recipes every weekend, and it helps me unwind after work.
That is beautiful. It sounds real, not rehearsed. It also gives the listener 3 interesting things to respond to: cooking, new recipes, and relaxation.
Exactly. That is how fluent conversation works. You open little doors for the other person to walk through.
And when the other person shares their hobby, keep the talk alive. Ask something back like, what about you? Or, do you have any hobbies too? Or even something specific like, do you prefer something more active or something more relaxing?
Right. Because real communication is not only about talking, it's about inviting. You keep the rhythm of the conversation going.
So, Jessica, what about you? What hobby makes you feel the happiest these days?
Honestly, I have been really into cooking lately. It started a few months ago when I watched a few online recipes. At first, it was just a small interest, but now I find it very rewarding. It helps me focus and forget about everything else.
That sounds wonderful. You used another great phrase there. It is rewarding. That means even though it takes effort, the result gives you real satisfaction.
Yes, I love that word. Rewarding is perfect for hobbies that need patience, like baking, learning music, or painting. You do not always get instant success, but the joy comes from the progress.
Absolutely. That is the kind of hobby that gives you both peace and purpose. For me, photography does that. I've been taking pictures for about 6 months now. It helps me notice small details, the light, the color, the moment, things I used to ignore.
That's beautiful, Adam. You know what I love about the way you said that? You did not just talk about the action. You talked about the feeling behind it. That's exactly what makes your English sound natural and emotional.
Thank you, Jessica. And I hope our listeners noticed how we both used the same pattern. We named the hobby, talked about how long we've been doing it, and explained how it makes us feel.
Yes, that's the key formula. Hobby, duration, emotion. If you remember this pattern, you can talk about anything: music, travel, art, sports, in a way that sounds deep and real.
Beautifully said.
So, dear listeners, practice these sentences out loud. For example, I'm really into hiking these days.
I've become a big fan of cooking.
It helps me unwind after a busy week.
I've been playing the guitar since last year.
Repeat them slowly. Feel the rhythm of each phrase. When you say them with feeling, your English will start to sound more human, not like a textbook, but like real life.
Exactly. And the more you connect your hobbies to emotions, the easier it becomes to express yourself naturally.
We hope this episode helped you discover how to make your English conversations warmer and more meaningful.
Thank you for joining us on Real English Conversation. Keep practicing every day, keep smiling, and never stop learning.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.